Welcome to our podcast, Inspiring Living, with me, Mark Candelaria. I am an architect, blogger, traveler, chef, father, and husband. I am the founder and now partner of a fabulous 20-person architecture firm specializing in high-end residential architecture, designing amazing homes across the country. We have hosted tours over the last 20 years to Italy, Spain, and soon Napa. And in the course of all this, I have met a lot of interesting people who truly inspire me. We are excited to now be in our second season, and our podcast is about all the opportunities that are right there in front of us to inspire living. Yes, we will talk about architecture and design, but every week we will venture to all sorts of topics that will inspire you, teach you, and motivate you to inspire living every day. My guests will include a wide gamut of amazing people, from those in the design industry to clients to real estate professionals, chefs, artists, sports figures, and philanthropists, and people who just flat out get it. So sit back and enjoy, and let's have some fun exploring all the opportunities that are there just waiting for us. Please subscribe and get ready to be inspired every week. Okay, as my dad says, here we go. Welcome, everyone, and thanks again for listening to our podcast, Inspiring Living. Welcome to Season 2, and Happy New Year, everyone. Sure hope everyone had a great New Year. Ours was pretty quiet. I think we were asleep by probably 9:30 in the evening, but we had a wonderful dinner at Trado, Chris Bianco's new venue down on 15th Street in Van Buren. He moved it from 20th Street in Camelback, and it was a delightful dinner, great food as always, and we definitely encourage you to get down that way. So here we go, 2021. Watching the news this morning, I don't know, it sounds a lot different from 2020, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, I wish everyone a fantastic and, most importantly, a healthy year ahead. With today's podcast, I pay a visit to my good friend in the heart of Umbria, Italy. Our podcast features a visit with Elizabeth Wholey, who was the host when we stayed at the farmhouse villas in Umbria during our annual Candelaria design tour, which we hope to resume this coming fall. We've got scheduled around the 15th of September through the 29th of September. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. We will talk about how things are right now in Italy with this whole COVID situation, and how they made it through the holidays and what the year ahead looks like. She's a wonderful lady, and you will find her perspective on this real interesting, especially if you are contemplating some international travel in 2021. Okay, here we go.
My guest today is a wonderful friend from many years now, who I met in Umbria while conducting my Candelaria Design Italy tour sometime around 2003 or 4. From then, we have become lifelong friends, and besides Isabel, you were the first person to make 3 appearances on my podcast. Did you realize that, Elizabeth? So today I have Elizabeth Wholey, all the way from Umbria, Italy, joining me by Zoom this morning. Welcome.
Hi, Mark. It's so good to see you.
It's good to see you, too. I love the Zoom. Isn't this great?
Yeah, fantastic.
There's a little bit of...
Glad we have it.
Yeah, for sure. So I understand you are getting some rain, you were telling me, and have lost power a few times. So we'll do our best here. We're not doing this live, so we can re-record. How's the weather there right now? I know it's 6 o'clock in the evening.
Right. It's not raining now.
Okay.
So, I haven't, I've only lost it once today. That was around lunchtime, noon, 6 hours ago. So It's probably fine.
Well, let's explain where you are. I mean, I know people know where Italy is. A lot of people know where Tuscany is. Not so many people know where Umbria is, but you guys are virtually the next door neighbor to the east of Tuscany.
Right. Our valley is partly in Umbria and partly in Tuscany. Mm-hmm. So right now we can't go to Tuscany because it's in a different level of virus. We're yellow because and our numbers are diminishing. But Tuscany is still in the orange zone, so we can't even cross over the border, which is, there's just a little blip in the map, which is Tuscany.
Yeah.
But I can't go to Mercatale, for example.
Oh, that's
and
right.
I need to. There. Yeah, and I need to go to Lisciano Nacconi to the veterinarian, but I can't because I have to go through Mercatale to get there. I have to go through Tuscany to get to the other part of Umbria and the other part of the valley, so I can't do that. But it's fine. Everybody's doing a really good job. I think they realize, by isolating the first time, back in the spring, they were able to control it, and they know this works. So the numbers are going down here, which is really great.
That's good. Yeah. So Umbria is one of my favorite places in Italy, as you know, thanks mostly to you. We love going there. Obviously, you couldn't go there this year, so we're having some Umbria. What do I call it? We just miss it. We miss it a ton. Let's just put it that way.
Good.
Umbria withdrawal. That's what I was thinking of.
Oh, it's wonderful. It is just wonderful. Today I took a walk up before it started raining, but that's what you do on Santo Stefano. Today is Santo Stefano Day, which is the day after Christmas. And it's not really a traditional religious festival. It was created after World War II because people wanted another holiday to extend the Christmas weekend.
Right.
So, but Santo Stefano is a day that you eat leftovers and you take walks in the countryside. And it was really fun because I walked up my hill across the road and I saw all my neighbors. They were all taking walks. Oh, and they were out, kids flying little airplanes, their toys they got for Christmas. I saw my next door neighbor walking his dog, another woman who works at the alpaca farm up the hill. And it was really wonderful seeing everybody, people I normally don't even see all the time.
Nice, very nice. That's what I love about Italy. You guys know how to slow down a little bit.
Sorry?
That's what I love about Italy. You know how to slow down a little bit. Like you stretch the Christmas holiday out for what? It's almost like a week or 2 weeks.
Right. Oh, well, this whole holiday it goes over a month.
A month.
It starts out at Advent, which is 4 weekends, 4 Sundays before Christmas. And then it goes until the Epiphany, which is the 6th of January. So it's the biggest holiday of the year. So it's been a hardship for Italians.
Yeah, I bet.
Not being able to really fully experience. And it's so rich. I've just been thinking about all the traditions and the rituals and the music and everything that happens during this period. And it's been nice for me because it almost made it seem like Christmas for me.
That's nice. I mean, the best Christmas I've ever had was the Christmas in 2015 when I was there in Rome, and then we stayed near San Gimignano in a little villa for a week, and then we went to Florence and finished up in Florence for New Year's. And it's just absolutely beautiful to go through those little villages like San Gimignano and Siena.
Yes.
And we went to Assisi on a foggy day, and it was all foggy, and it was just absolutely. It's one of the most beautiful. And like you said, the holiday lasts; it just keeps going.
Yeah, and I can't believe that was 5 years ago.
I know, isn't that crazy?
I remember that.
Well, my girls have never been to Alta Bella, so I want to bring them there at some point. I know my oldest daughter Tiffany has been 2 or 3 times, and my little ones were at Casa San Martino when they were little babies. So they've all technically been there, but I'd like to bring them there where they can all remember the experience.
Oh, you should. Yeah, maybe this next year.
Yeah, maybe so.
Sorry we missed your birthday here.
Well, we've got a plan I'm going to tell you about here in a little bit. So we always make the best out of the worst things. So
I'm sure you do. I know you do.
So Buon Natale, as they say in Italy. Merry Christmas to you. How was your Christmas there in Umbria? You said you had a pretty quiet Christmas yourself.
It was very quiet. I spent it on my own. I mean, we were only supposed to be with one other person.
Right.
And I just decided I'm just going to be. It was just wonderful.
Yeah.
I listened to music. I talked to my niece and her family. I wrote to my other nieces. I did a Zoom call with a lot of friends. I've been hearing just even today. Well, it's hardly over, but I've heard from people who I've been thinking about. I've gotten, I got books from people. People sent me presents. So I opened my presents. It was perfect. It was just quiet, but just what I wanted. It was nice.
Well, thank you for making time for our Zoom call, because I was really looking forward to this. It's just So
I have plenty of time.
So nice to always connect with you, and I just have so many wonderful memories of times with you, Elizabeth. I mean, every single memory has just been like best days of my life. So you're a very, very special person to me. So
very, very wonderful for us too, and Isabel too. She's
absolutely.
I'm really looking forward to seeing her again too.
Very excited. So you were telling me before the call that you actually were diagnosed with COVID sometime in November, I think you said.
Right, early November. I have been really being isolated because we're all very careful, and I'm older, and all of my friends are older. We all are very super careful. We don't go out very much. I shop mostly in Spedalico, that little market.
Oh yeah.
With my friend Jinzia, the young lady who works there. She is so terrific and everything. They have plastic screens and everybody, one person in at a time. And I just shop once a week. But my friend had tested negative, and she was having a foot operation. And I was going to take her and pick her up. So I took her over there, and she was coughing. And so she was wearing a mask, but she said oh, it's a cold. And when she had been tested, we thought she was COVID-free.
Yeah.
And then she went back the next couple of days later for more tests, and they found out she had COVID. And so immediately she called me, and I called two friends that I'd had over for lunch. Then I called my doctor. My doctor said, just stay in for 10 days. If you have any symptoms, let me know. I had no symptoms. None. I did tons of work out in the garden. I have a wonderful vegetable garden this year. That's one of the things that I've just enjoyed so much. And my dad would be so proud of me. I grew up on a farm. And I ate out of it too, and I fed a lot of friends.
Oh, that's nice.
So I worked a lot there. I was cutting back things and really having a good time out in the garden. And they came because I'm older. They came to my house to test me after 10 days, and they said, "You're positive."
Oh my God!
I said, I can't believe it. I have no symptoms. She said, "You're asymptomatic." So another 10 days, I had to stay inside. They called me every day. I had to take my temperature twice a day. And and I had no symptoms again. After 10 days, they came again to test me, and they said, "Okay, you're negative." But after the first test, she said, "Your numbers are high." She says, "This means that you don't have it very badly, and that you're almost over it. So don't worry." She kept, "Be calm, be calm." She kept telling me to be calm. Of course, I freaked out. And I didn't tell a lot of my family back in California because, there's nothing they could do. And I was taking good care of myself.
Because there's nothing they can do.
Right. And I didn't tell Catherine, who I work with at Altabella either. But Paula, who I work with, was terrific. She's part of our like a first aid group of volunteers, and she brought me groceries.
Wow, nice.
And other friends brought me groceries. And one friend brought me a whole Thanksgiving dinner and left it in the back of my car. So anyway, it was a amazing experience, and I was so fortunate. So anyway, that's my story.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. The asymptomatic phenomenon is that you just don't know you have it, and so it's really easy to spread it because you just don't know.
Right. Right. And you don't know who else has it.
No, that's the problem.
So you just have to be so careful.
Yeah.
I've just basically stayed home ever since, even though, I've heard, you can even get it a second time. And so, you just don't want to, I have tons to do here at home. I'm getting rid of things.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm cleaning out my larder. I'm getting and doing all sorts of cleanup. So it's an opportunity. I think a lot of people feel that way, that it's been an opportunity as well as a hardship.
Right. So when the whole COVID thing happened, you were still in the United States. I mean, you were still in San Francisco. And I should explain to everybody, you're an American who has just basically moved to Italy and become an Italian, correct?
Yeah, it's almost 30 years now.
Yeah, it's crazy. So that's why your English is so good. If you were speaking Italian, this would be a really short podcast. But one of these things I'm going to learn, Elizabeth. I'm bound and determined to learn Italian.
Great. Yeah. Well, you should come and stay here for a while.
That's what I'm going to do. That was my plan last year. My plan was to stay for over a month, and those plans all got foiled. But I know you were trying to get back to Italy back in March or April?
Right. I actually took 3 tries. The first one was end of April. I had a United scheduled, and it was so bad in Italy at that time. I said, no way. And they changed my ticket. I would have had to make different stops along the way. And so I just canceled, and I lost my money from United. And then the second one I made with Lufthansa at around the 20th of May. Lufthansa canceled that one. So then I took Alitalia, and I came June 4th.
Okay.
But anyway, it was a little bit complicated getting here because at that point, the airlines were so confused about who should be able to come. And I was a resident, and so twice they told me I couldn't come, and I talked my way into getting here. And so now that I'm here, I don't want to leave.
I don't blame you. I mean, you just don't know what's going to happen. And now you're talking about, the situation in Great Britain with that new strain, and you're saying now that there's been a case in Italy. And so
just one case, and no people from Britain are allowed in without a quarantine here.
Right.
And in fact, I think the border's closed now. But I think yesterday they found one person who had it. So the new strain. So anyway, it's a mess.
Yeah, Britain's quite a mess.
Yeah. Well, and also, all these trucks are trying to leave France.
Right.
I feel so sorry for those people. To try to get on the ferry to get back to England, and they're all having to be tested. It's just an impossible situation. Anyway, but the hope is on the way. We're going to have a vaccine, and in the middle of January, the European Union has just approved the vaccines, and we're going to start getting our vaccine soon.
Okay, good.
And I already have my flu vaccine.
Yep.
We, our medical situation is that everybody here who's signed up for the national health does get a vaccine.
Okay, that's good. So they got it pretty good. I'm almost willing to bet your system's going to end up being better than our system. I have a feeling our system's just going to be a complete disaster, but who knows?
It is already better. I know it is.
Yeah.
Also, but because we're a small province, we have very few people, really.
Right.
Compared to either even like Milan or Rome.
Right.
And it's controllable here. Plus, we have people like Paula who are in these volunteer groups that are just amazing. Huh. She brought my groceries in full PPE. She looked so cute. She was in this little person with all this uniform on.
Oh, that's
and
cute.
She had 3 people with her, also delivering food all through the valley.
Wow.
The people who were shut in. So it's an amazing system they have here.
Yeah, that's neat. So a little history on us. We met way back when you came and instructed our cooking class at Casa San Martino, which is there in Umbria. And during the course of that class, you noticed how full we were as my tour had started really taking off. I had more and more people coming. I can't remember how many people we had in Casa San Martino at that time, probably 12 or 13, maybe 14 people all in that house. And it was one house, and you suggested we maybe consider moving to the Alta Bella Vistas, which is just a few miles down the road, which we did, I believe, for the first time. It was either 2007 or 2008. And we've been staying there ever since, thanks to you. And it's just been such a wonderful experience, those 3 little villas. And sometimes we fill those all out, and you find us another one down the road. And we've just
sometimes the Mimi, Albergo Mimi.
Yeah, we stayed down. We had a couple people stay at Mimi.
I just got a Christmas card from them. So they're everybody's still in business, which is
good.
All our main people. That
was one of my questions. Let's just use Mimi's as an example. Are they just eating outside? Or are they just doing deliveries? Or how are they staying in business?
When the weather was still nice, people were eating outside.
Yeah.
And certain restaurants are really set up for that, like Nonna Gelsa and Girasoli down from my neighbors here. Mimi actually can arrange things. People are arranging it, but now it's only takeout.
Yeah. Okay.
But some new little some people have creative businesses doing this too. So there's a young couple who do kind of Asian food, and they pick it up at the Nakoni School or at Patrick's wine bar.
Yep.
Patrick is doing takeout too. So it's a lot of people dancing around, creating a new, and like during the, heard from Patrick when I got back that he delivered wine all over the valley.
Wow.
During the real lockdown. And now they're doing some takeout too. Well, and they also have sort of a deli. They have really good cheeses and salami and such there now.
If I was to be in lockdown, Italy would be the place to be in lockdown. As long as you had plenty of good food, you'd be pretty lucky.
Yeah. Yes.
We've been doing
and agriculture still went on too. I mean, people were working outside, so everything functioned, and they had a wonderful olive oil harvest, an olive harvest here. Just tons and tons of olive oil.
Nice.
And I talked to Rosanna yesterday, and she said that they had some frost a couple times, so that affected things. But otherwise, the wine was good this year.
Good.
Anyway, and she and I talked about making plans, what we're going to do next year, go find new wineries, and every other weekend she says, let's go every other. I don't know if we will. And then she said, and then let's do a book.
Well, I'll tell you, Isabel and I talked about it. As soon as we can go, as soon as we're either vaccinated or we're allowed to go, we're coming. We're just
good.
As soon as we possibly can. So
right. Well, you should just come and do some research.
Yeah. Well, we just want to come hang out with you and do some cooking and drink some good wine and go to see some wineries and just do what we love to do. So you and your sidekick Paola host our cooking class while we are there in Umbria, and you've written a wonderful book. Tell us about your book.
Well, years ago, started sourcing food, trying to find, the best of everything that was local.
Right.
And I went to, I actually through a restaurant who wanted to buy truffles, a restaurant in California. I found my truffle friends, the Bianconis, who are just this lovely couple, and who have this wonderful truffle business. They take people on truffle hunts, and they have they've developed a lot of products. Anyway, I just heard from him yesterday too. Wishing me auguri. So anyway, I met them, and he said, "Well, why don't you do a book?" And he said, "I'll introduce you to all these people." So he used to just drive me around, and we'd meet these people, and I just was blown away. And I said, I I can't take people to these. Our guests wanted to go with me, and I couldn't. There was only one of me, and I said I have to do a book so that they can find these people on their own.
Right.
So I was very careful about giving really good direction and websites and everything in the book. I just said, I have to do this book. I just have to. And I finally did it. In 2013, it came out. And a lot of those people some people have died. Some of the older people are not, but everybody gave me a recipe. There were 15 different people in the book. She gave me a recipe, and I still use, like for New Year's Eve, I'm going to do this fennel thing. I call it thrice cooked fennel, and it's first boiled, and then it's fried, floured, and then fried, and then you bake it, and then you put your sauce on it, your tomato sauce on it, and Parmigiano on top of that. It is delicious.
It sounds delicious. Makes me hungry already.
And that's from a vegetable seller in Anghiari in Tuscany.
Very nice. Yeah, your book is fabulous. I always love. I refer to it all the time. It's such a handy little book. So I want to get you on our cooking class one day. We'll do a Zoom cooking class from Umbria. How does that sound?
Oh, that'd be fun.
Be fun, right? We could do it. We could pull it off.
Yeah.
You are also now, you've been joining us on our wine tour the last couple of years with your friend Rosanna. Rosanna, is that how you say your name? Rosanna?
Yes. Yeah, Rosanna.
And I won't try her last name. Ravicchioli.
I have trouble with it too. Ravicchioli. I call her R.
Yeah, there you go. R&R. I'll have to remember that. That's very helpful. So yeah, you guided us on our wine tour last year, which was fabulous, by the way. And your tours, we went to Umbria, but you have also added some wineries in Tuscany, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm really curious where you will take us in 2021 if we come. I'm excited.
One kind of famous guy, you may know him already. He believes that the wine is affected by music, and he has Bose speakers in his vineyard.
Oh my gosh!
And he's a really interesting guy, and he makes wonderful wine.
Okay, so
now I thought that'd be.
My question is, what kind of music is he playing? Is he playing Van Halen, or is he playing
classical?
Classical.
Yeah. And I know that this is a common thought that it's nice to have music around winemaking.
Yeah.
And because when I was in Sicily, I visited a winery too. The guy in his winery, he played music too, classical music. So there's this whole theory about it, and I found his wine is terrific, and it's a Brunello.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe that would be a nice one to
sounds amazing to me, for sure. So you were by yourself for Christmas this year, so you probably just kept your Christmas dish pretty simple, I'm assuming. But what are some of your favorites for Christmas?
Well, I did on Christmas Eve. You're supposed to do the Feast of the Seven Fishes. So you're supposed to be not eating meat on Christmas Eve. So I did the Feast of One Fish. I did, and it was really simple. I'm growing in my vegetable garden some cima di rape, and so which is sort of greens.
Yeah.
And so I did a pugliese dish, which is super simple. It's orecchiette, little ears with cima di rape, with aglio, olio, peperoncino, and anchovies.
Oh, that sounds.
And it's really, really good. And you cook them. You saute the seasonings in olive oil, and you cook the orecchiette with the cima di rape, and then you put it all together, and it's super delicious. So simple. So that's what I had.
See, that's what I was saying. We need this cooking class. That was just amazing. I could have listened to you say that all day long, Elizabeth.
That is a pugliese dish.
That's awesome. So what's your favorite dishes to make for Christmas? Like if we had 15 people there, what would you be making for that if we had to do that for Christmas Day?
Well, let's see. Just got a few. I've actually thought about this. Let's see. I'm people of capon. Well, first of all, they do tortellini, and on Christmas Eve, the family will make tortellini. All the mother and the children will sit around while the fathers eat chestnuts and drink wine, and the family will make tortellini for the next day, or if they don't do it then, they'll do it a couple of days early. Right. The tortellini in broth is very traditional. Everybody, it's from Bologna. It has meat and cheeses and spices.
That sounds fantastic.
And stuff, and they're made in little hats. So that one really typical thing. Then they will have capon or turkey or roast beef as the main dish. Did I tell you we have this lady who's working down at the bottom of the hill? Did I mention this already? Nope. Who's now started a little pasta business.
Oh, good.
Anyway, she just lives right at the bottom of the Altobello Road.
Wow.
The gravel road. And so I'm buying my cappelletti from her now because it's so, it's so easy. And then we people here have for dessert. I'm just telling you what typical desserts are, that are not homemade, but they'll have pan forte di Siena. The kind of fruit cake that's hard, hard with spices, or they will have a nougat, the candy that's made with honey and nuts, and then biscotti with Vinsanto. Vinsanto is such a typical local liquore, a dessert wine. But I mean, you can make anything you want. I haven't really thought about. Sometimes I like to make colorful things for Christmas, like red peppers, roasted red peppers, in a vinaigrette, in a pretty green, like maybe red peppers and peeled, and then put them in a vinaigrette and put them in a pretty green platter. Or we do another thing we do is for an antipasto is a kale, which is cavolo black cabbage here, chopped up and sautéed, and with garlic and on toast on crostini with some Parmigiano on top, maybe some anchovies in that too, possibly. With a little hot pepper, that's really good too.
That sounds amazing.
So, anyway, there's
tiramisu.
A lot of possibilities.
Yeah, we made the standing rib roast, prime rib with garlic.
Nice.
I forget the name of a sauce. It's olive oil with fresh lemon zest, herbs, and we drizzled that over the prime rib. And
that sounds great.
We made a tiramisu.
I'm very hungry right now. Last night I made, again from my garden, I had a cabbage, and I made cabbage with mashed potatoes and sausages, all mixed together. And boy, on a cold night, that was so delicious. I mean, it's not, you might not think it's festive for Christmas, but it was sure good.
Oh, I get it. We enjoy when we come up the first night and you kind of do a Umbrian farmer's meal for us, and you always have those amazing sausages, and oh my, it's so good. So down the road from Altabella, there is that new castle that old castle that they converted into a new hotel.
Right, the Rescue Castle.
Rescue. That's how you say it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's pretty amazing. So with the whole COVID situation in 2020, what was the tour season like in 2020? Was it just non-existent? I mean, were they?
Most of our guests are Americans,
right?
So although we did have, and Americans are unable to come to Italy right now. So, however, we did have some friends of one of the owners this couple were living in Barcelona, and they could come. So they came to La Pietra and stayed for a couple of weeks. And then we have some other Americans who were here, and they're in La Quercia still. Wow. And they're actually they'll be going home eventually. Wow. So, but it's difficult for them to get home. Yeah. But Rescue was not renting out
anything.
I mean, their restaurant, everything was just closed down. And basically we were closed down too. Yeah. But Paula continued to work. But it was, everything came to a roaring halt. Catherine was, very sad that she's not able to go. And I'm in touch with her regularly, and she's chomping at the bit.
I bet. She's in the Bay Area, is that correct?
Yes, she's in Berkeley.
I'd like to meet her someday. We've obviously spoken and we've emailed, but I would love to meet her someday.
Yeah, she's a very interesting person.
Yeah, I bet.
She's been busy. She has a lot of projects, literary projects that she's working on. Her former deceased husband is Lenny Michaels, who was a well-known writer. Yeah. And she's edited some of his work. So she's busy.
Good.
And anyway, but she really misses it here. And it was her baby. This whole project was her idea.
It's a beautiful idea, and she's fulfilled the idea with the help of you and so many others. It's just a beautiful place to stay, and we obviously have plenty of other options, and we keep coming back just because it's got so many fond memories for all of us and my travelers. I got so many travelers that love to come and just, for the same reason. They just love coming back. I mean, I keep going, you got to go somewhere else? Nope. We want to go to Altabella. We love it there.
Right.
My room, I have my spot. So it's one of those things that just becomes this kind of...
Well, you've had some wonderful cooks too. I remember that fellow who did that amazing barbecue.
Oh yeah, Rennie.
Here. He
was into it.
He loved it.
Yeah. So hey, while I forget, Rebecca, who I know listens to my podcast, she wanted the nudie recipe, the spinach nudie.
Oh, easy.
So if you can,
I can send her the recipes.
I'll forward it on to her.
If you give me her address, I'll
just send it to me. Send it to me because I want it, and then I'll forward it to her.
Okay, I'll send you all the recipes.
Oh, I love it. I've got it somewhere, but yeah, if you could just resend it to me, that'd make it a lot easier.
Okay.
So when we come back next year, which I'm very committed to coming back. Our dates are September 18th to the 25th of September next year. What's your forecast given those dates? Do you think we can make it by then?
I subscribe to various travel sites.
Yep.
And they're saying that by midsummer, people are going to be traveling.
Yeah.
I mean, the airlines are saying that. Some of the travel agent newsletters. Because so many people will be. I mean, it's amazing what they've done so far as far as the vaccines go, and I think it'll happen. Yeah. We're counting on it.
Well, I know I've got my dates locked in with you for sure because I know.
Yeah, and we have a lot of other people booked too. So we're hoping we have people starting in May.
Okay.
We're already booked. So we'll keep in touch.
Yeah, and I'll probably talk to you about Christmas next year, because I think that's what I'd like to do is maybe try to rent those houses right around Christmas time.
That would be fabulous.
That'd be fun.
I'm going to send you, I wrote up kind of a little synopsis of what goes on during Christmas here.
Ooh.
Starting with early November, or rather late November, when the what do they call it? The Advent.
Uh-huh.
And running through the Epiphany, which is over a month long. And I mean, it is just filled with stuff. And it's fun. You know, it's really a fun time. And I think that's what's so hard on the Italians, because they're so fun loving.
Right.
And they just have all these festivals that are traditions that they've been, that go back to, centuries.
Right.
So I think, but, they're all,
they're all hanging
in and following the rules. So around here, things are improving.
Well, we're excited to be back there. The people in Italy have treated me and my family and my travelers so nicely over all the years, and we've made amazing, relationships. Gabriele over at La Colle, I mean, he was here,
right.
The house for my client in Desert Mountain, and he's done roof tiles for me for 20 years now. We've been doing stuff together, all thanks to you and clients who introduced me to him. And, and another person I wanted to ask about, and I'm really kind of nervous about your response, is how my friend Pino is doing.
Yeah, I haven't seen him since I last talked to you, because I haven't been able to leave.
Right.
Or to get over to Tuscany. But
yeah.
I go to my hairdresser nearby him.
Okay.
And as soon as I get over here again, I'm going to drop in and see how he's doing.
Well, if you do, just give him our love and prayers, because just an amazing guy and so many wonderful
memories. He is.
Yeah.
One of the things that I'm doing during this period, I found some really nice ones of him. And boy, did we have a lot of good memories of him playing his guitar and singing at Lois's house.
Yeah.
And Melchiori dancing and singing with him.
I've got some video of that I'll dig up for you. And I've got some amazing photos of Pino that are just like, they're book cover photos. So let me get those to you, because they're absolutely amazing.
I'll find mine too.
Okay, well, we got to do that. I think you and I've got some books in the works down the road, Elizabeth.
Okay.
I'd love to do a cookbook with you.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Right.
I also appreciate your contributing to the Instagram. We have one of our younger partners is really spearheading that.
Good.
And Malachi is his name, and he's gotten me going on it a bit. But we really appreciate having your input too.
Oh yeah. Can do
your stuff. You take such good pictures. So.
Well, I've got tons of them, let me tell you.
Yeah.
And videos.
I know that.
Well, thank you so much for doing this. We miss you a ton, and we cannot wait to return. And when we do return, not that we haven't in the past, but I can tell you right now, we will have even a more heightened appreciation of Italy when we do return. And hopefully it is this coming fall, as I've said. If you're interested in joining our tour, please email or direct message me as soon as possible, as my veteran travelers have already put their names on the list for 2021. So I only have a few spots open. I'm not saying that to dangle any carrots. It's true. I bet you I've got at least 12 to 14 people that have been on my trips before that want to go. So if we can get this vaccine and we can do it, we're doing it. So give me your information. I'll get you on the list. We will start with our departure on September 15th for Florence, a week of good times in Umbria, which you just got a taste of in listening to Elizabeth. And then we'll finish at the Villa d'Este Hotel on Lake Como, where Isabel and I will celebrate my 60th birthday, which I'll just be finishing up. And we'll be celebrating Isabel's 50th birthday. So we're calling it our 50-60 tour. How's that, Elizabeth?
Great. Perfect.
So how do we get in touch with you? Tell us how we find you.
It's ElizabethWholey@gmail.com, and it's Elizabeth Wholey is Wholey. It's all one word, Elizabeth Wholey at gmail.com. And it's been really fun seeing you again, Mark. And my love to both of you and Isabella. And I'm really looking forward to seeing you again. Rosanna says hello. I told her I was going to be talking to you today. Paula says hello.
Awesome.
And we all want to see you again.
Well, we're big fans. We're big supporters. And anyone ever wants to go to Italy and you want to go to Umbria, check in with me. Check in with Elizabeth. We'll tee you up on a trip you will never regret. I mean, even if you don't come with me, we'll make sure you have a great trip even without us. But if you can come on our tour, I guarantee you it's going to be a great time, right? You always say that. Wow, you guys sure have a lot of fun.
Tell me one more time how to see this video.
So we'll put the podcast on iTunes, and it'll be on Spotify, and I'll send you the link so that you have the link, and then you can post the link and all that stuff. And then also you got to check. We'll put the story notes, but Elizabeth has a great Instagram page. Altabella Villas has a great Instagram page. And then there's links that I find through you guys of other great Instagram sites in Umbria. And I've made a lot of friends just through Instagram, through you and Altabella. And it just kind of spirals out of control in a fabulous direction. So I can live vicariously in Umbria through social media right now. And I absolutely love it. So thank you for posting. Keep posting. We love it.
Okay. And buon anno, Mark. Buon anno. And have a wonderful 2021.
Thank you so much. We love you guys, and we'll see you in 2021.
Okay. Ciao.
Grazie, Elizabeth. Always so nice to catch up with you, and we miss all of our friends in Italy. We are hoping we can make it back to Italy this fall. Our tour details and dates are set, and you can get all the details in our website. Just hit the Candelaria Design Tours tab and scroll down to Tour Italy. Let's hope we can make it there this year. And meanwhile, we wish all of our dear friends there a happy and healthy 2021. We have some great podcasts coming to you in January. Next week, we have a wonderful podcast coming with former CBS 5 News anchor Catherine Anaya, and what an inspiring lady she is. Then I have two inspiring ladies, Jasmine Hall and Dalila Gamper, both from an amazing organization, Elevate, who help inner city kids with education and career opportunities. What a great way to start the year with giving back. Check out our blog on our website. Link is also in the episode notes, where we will look back at the entire year of 2020 and all that was accomplished over the course of the year, and acknowledging all of those who made 2020 a successful year for us despite all of its challenges. Okay, I want to give a big thank you to all of you who have been listening to our podcast as our listeners keep growing nicely. Thank you also for the ratings and reviews. Remember, the first review we get dated January 4th or later will receive a free Candelaria collection pasta maker. So give us some love on those ratings and reviews, and make sure you direct message or email me that you posted the review so we can get you your pasta maker. We love giving those pasta makers away. We do our best to inspire living in everything we do, from our podcast to our cooking classes to our tours, and of course, with our Candelaria Design homes. Okay, have a great week, everyone. Happy holidays to you all. And let's all live our lives with love, compassion, grace, and positivity. See you next week. Because Inspiring Living is all about the people and the organizations that inspire us, we are excited to have Monogram Appliances as one of our sponsors. Anytime we do a new kitchen or a kitchen remodel, Monogram Appliances are what we recommend to our client. Their appliances are the definition of luxury, meticulously detailed using the finest materials and an ownership experience that is second to none. This is how Monogram is always thinking ahead and inspiring and elevating the kitchen experience. Because at Monogram, they don't just elevate one thing, they elevate everything. I want to say a big thank you to my good friends at Stockett Tile and Granite Company, where your project is our priority. I want to thank the Stockett team along with so many others who contributed to the success of our fabulous demonstration kitchen in our new Candelaria Design office expansion. You will have to check out our online video cooking classes, and our kitchen is amazing. I've had the pleasure of working with the Stockett team for nearly 40 years on many spectacular projects, and trust me, they are the epitome of excellence when it comes to tile, marble, and granite work, bar none. Their skill in customer service is impeccable, and the bottom line is they are just good people. I have traveled with, dined with, and just had good times, both personally and professionally, with Dave Stockett and his lovely wife, Becky, and they are the best. When it comes to your next tile and stone project, make sure Stockett Tile and Granite is a part of your team. Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed our podcast. We encourage you to write a review, screenshot it, and share it with your friends. Please instant message it to me and follow us on Instagram and Facebook. We thank you for listening, and we look forward to sharing more insights to inspiring living next week.